Hello Capricorn friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Capricorn April 2025 Astrology Horoscope Forecast. I'm calling the theme of this month for Capricorns, messages, miracles, and mind-blowing moments. And we'll get into all of the details about that very soon. This is for you if Capricorn is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or your any other Capricorn placement you're listening for. What I'm going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. Very late degree Cap friends, like my moon is a late degree. I'm there with you. So like 23 degrees through the rest of any Cap placement, or if your birthday is like January 15th through the rest of the sign, I suggest you additionally listen to my Aquarius report, as your very late degree friends will benefit from both readings. So let's just have a little intro into the energy of this month. We are still very much in eclipse season. We have among many other planets in Aries, we have had an Aries eclipse in March. I talk about that more in the March report. But for now, it's important to know that we are still in eclipse season. March and April are very strong with trajectory shifts, karmic clearing, brand new openings, and saying goodbye to things from the past. And this is a lot of focus on your autonomy and your individuality, closing out a 2-year cycle that started in 2023 of these Libra eclipses. So you will see the news continue to come in this month. This will be very ripe with information and experiences that are directly related to the heat of that eclipse season. We also have Venus retrograde at the beginning of the month, but as of April 12th, Venus will move forward and join Mars and Jupiter, which went forward in February and are still regaining traction now in April. And we'll start to open into our first in a very long time free period from personal planet retrogrades and into this epic time of a lot of forward movement as we get into May. But here still, where the pieces are waking up, the cogs in the wheel are starting to move, and you will see a lot of forward progress, but don't be hasty with some of those things related to Venus, love, beauty, money, design, because there are still some lessons there that have to do more with looking to the past than making final decisions and experimenting rather than final choices. Okay, so let's talk more about this series of themes that I have for Capricorn for this month. Messages is the first on my list. And part of where this is coming from is we still have a very strong influence of Pisces energy. So we've got Ceres, Saturn, transiting North Node, Venus in retrograde, and Mercury for a little while longer, all in this very intuitive, watery sign of Pisces, which rules messages from beyond, messages from spirit. Synchronicity is the language of spirit. So there's a lot of richness in the emotional and the inner realms right now from these Pisces transits, the magical, even mystical realms, the, fantastical and the dreamtime realms. So messages in dreams, messages from synchronicity, messages from, beyond, wherever else they can come from, messages from intuition, messages from logic. It's just very rich with communication, and all of these Pisces placements flood the Capricorn house of Gemini, which is about information. And Jupiter is moving through Gemini still. So we've got a lot of energy having to do with information, messages. Sometimes they're ethereal in this case. Sometimes they're just like a message where somebody calls you. But it's a lot of communication in the inner and outer planes, from beyond, from within, from without, all around. So be looking out for this news and this information in the subtle and not so subtle signs of where you're supposed to be moving, with your decisions and all of this forward moving energy. You'll start to have more clarity and direction as to what you're supposed to be doing. All of this Pisces energy makes a nice 60-degree angle for Caps, which is an angle of opportunity. So, be awake to the opportunities. That's one of the reasons why astrology is so helpful, is that if you know that it's a time for certain types of things coming in extra, then you are on the lookout for them, and then you're less likely to miss them, and you understand what's going on when you do notice them. All right, so the next piece has to do with miracles. And I talked about this also in February with the new moon in Pisces, because we had a massive amount of Pisces energy there. That was a miracle moon, I was calling it. And there's a similar energetic now with this Pisces energy. It's the connectedness of all things. It's the place where faith is felt, or it might not be able to be seen, but it's felt with the heart. It's just really very much an inner journey, a quiet space, and an understanding that is not easy to articulate. Although there may be a lot of articulating going on because of the Gemini energy, some of the messages are going to be nonverbal. And, and you may have miracles happen. Miracles are, I think, in my mind, the magic of miracles are really science that's not explained yet, because I do believe that there are scientific reasons why the things that look like miracles happen. I mean, just even think about people that do magic shows. Maybe some of them are just super psychic and have magical superhuman abilities, right? But either way, there's probably some reason why they can do this sleight of hand and you don't see what's going on, right? It's magic, but there's a reason behind it. And I think that miracles are these same things. And over time, we'll continue to prove scientifically the connectedness of all things, which will very much explain things like psychic connections and, connections with the other worlds and those kind of things that are harder to understand or believe because there's no scientific reason. Those reasons are going to come out more. And that's what this month is very much about. So you may have amazing miracles occur. And if you need a miracle, pray, pray, intend, be open, tell everyone you know that you need this energy and just let the universe be supportive at this time. The other thing I have on my list for Cappies this month is mind-blowing moments. This is a very social energy. This third house that's lit up by these Pisces placements is very social. And the energy of Jupiter is very social. It's very much about connecting. Then there's also all of this energy in Aries. Neptune moving signs after 14 years of being in the sign that it rules, Pisces. The Sun is here. Chiron and Eris are here. Mercury will get into Aries. All of this can really add the fire, can really add the intensity, can really add this mind-blowing element to the things that are happening right now, conversations, experiences. And, some of them may be mundane, happening in this tangible reality, and some of them may be ethereal. But mind-blowing moments, they will very likely come. All right, so I am, by the way, making the monthlies shorter now that I'm doing weekly reports and new moon and full moon reports, because usually I would talk about a lot of that stuff in the monthlies, but I'm posting weeklies every Sunday and new moon and full moon closer to those moons. So we're not going to cover a lot of those things, but definitely be looking out for those because YouTube is not letting you know that I'm posting them. So you can go to anniehelpsyou.com and sign up for my free email newsletter, and you'll get my weekly newsletter that will give you all of my content. But so those things we're going to skip. We're talking just really much about Capricorn highlights. So another Capricorn highlight is that Jupiter is finishing out a transit since May 2024 into June 2025. We're getting close here, of Gemini through your 6th house. Jupiter in Gemini through your 6th house. Jupiter is the great expander, the bringer of luck, the widener of horizons, the broadening of scopes, the bringer of enthusiasm and optimism. And until February, he was retrograde, and we were feeling that. But now, here at the beginning of April, starting to get a lot of traction with this forward movement. Things that slowed toward the ends of the year are really coming alive now. And this has a lot to do with Gemini, writing, mobility, travel, vehicles, devices, things like that, your personal conversations and social interactions. But specifically for Cappies, this has to do with your 6th house. This can be employment, this can be self-employment, this can be your daily work experience. If you go to yoga, the people you see there. If you go to your garden club, the people you see there. It's basically your routine, your rhythm, the things that you do every day. Those are being amazingly expanded at this time. So either you're meeting a bunch of different people, you're widening your social circles, you're expanding your work, you're, stretching out of your role at work. There's been this force that has been happening that was going strong from May until around September, October, then started to slow down, and now we're seeing it pick up again. So, all of these things are happening. And also your health. If you're a Cappy that's had health issues, Jupiter may have either made certain things worse in order to show you that there was a problem so that you could rectify it, or you may have been seeing ameliorations of stress levels, of health issues. the lucky finding of perfect practitioners and testing and things like that. And if you haven't capitalized on those things, then do know that this essence is here for you to take advantage of. And the more you're aware of this presence and the more you actively use it, the more you can see the expansion come. So if you need help in those areas of your life, be asking for it, because Jupiter wants to help. Now, if you are an animal collector, you like to have pets and help animals and work with animals, you may notice that there has been a lot of activity in the animal sector. And Jupiter is continuing that. So if you are looking to give an animal their forever home, or foster, or get support for pets that you have, or work with animals, this energy is also amazing for all of that. Mars has spent an exorbitantly long time in the energy of Cancer, even though it did pop out briefly towards the end of last year, the beginning of this year, when it went into Leo. Since September, it's spent the predominance of energy in Cancer, which is opposing Capricorn. So this has made it an exceptionally more challenged time for managing your relationships and yourself and your home and your work, and keeping balance in those arenas. And very likely your family and your relationships have needed a lot of tending to, and may have had to put a lot of other things on hold or be very overwhelmed with trying to manage everything. But that this month is going to shift. So you will start to see resolutions from things that you've been working on, hard work that you have been putting towards things with your relationship or your family or your housing or your houses or real estate, things like that. You may start to really see the fruits of those labors as Mars leaves Cancer and moves into Leo. Mars is very rowdy, still in its post-transit shadow period from having gone direct at the end of February, but very rowdy still. You may be still very obsessed with the areas that Mars is moving through: relationships, clients, customers, and then, of course, the housing and the real estate and the family, because wherever Mars goes, obsession flows, as I like to say. So you'll definitely be feeling that. But even with all of that forward movement, Mars is still even not up to full steam. So moving into May, you'll regain full strength in those arenas. Now, Venus is retrograde until April 12th, and that is, splitting the month as far as retrograde and direct, but all month Venus is going to be groggy, even when it goes direct around April 12th. So love and beauty and design and money, financial decisions, romantic decisions, things may be a little bit slow to move there still. So try to not be hasty if possible, because the rules still apply for trying to keep things low risk but high reward, and taking advantage of experimentation and, trying some things on that are easily flexible arrangements. And you'll start to have more zest with forward movement and have more information to be able to move forward as we get into May. Some of those mind-blowing moments or miracles could be happening in your money or your love sectors, because a lot of times retrogrades like this Venus retrograde can bring something back from the past. It can bring love back from the past, magic back into your relationships. It can bring money back from the past, or ways of making money from the past, ways of having sustenance from the past, and contacts from the past can hook you up and set you up with things as well. If you, I will always say with Venus retrograde, it's a great time to run a promo. I do have a promo for $1,500 worth of free stuff when you sign up for my Astrology Mastery Certification course. You can see this at beastropro.com, beastropro.com. But this is still like a time for these kind of things. And as Venus is completing its cycle, I will be completing my promo. And this is something for you to consider too, Things that are short term, like a promo, are fantastic to do when Venus is in retrograde. If you love my content and you want to get it all early and not miss anything that I post, since YouTube does not inform all of my subscribers when I do post, go to anniehelpsyou.com and sign up for my free weekly newsletter, where I will send out every kind of thing. I really take care of my people there. You get your monthly written star report with the sweet and salty dates, zodiac health tips, retrograde resources, eclipse resources, 28-day virtual coaching program, and all of the content early, plus all kinds of other goodies, sometimes exclusive promos, and you won't miss anything I post. So if you value what I'm doing, you don't want to miss my weeklies or my new moon or full moon reports or my monthlies, I've been hearing a lot of people say, are you still doing monthly reports? And I'm like, yes, I'm still doing them for 12 years, but YouTube is just not showing them to you. So I'm really sad about that, but I know that we can transcend whatever YouTube has got going on. And the best way to do that is to just connect directly with me by signing up for my newsletter at anniehelpsyou.com. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you in my next report. Take care. Bye.